through your city like my name was Peter Parker. And you know how I do, yeah, you know we're wild and party. Menage a Twizzle with Night Shizzle, Selena Kyle, Felicia Hardy, huh? That's the pussy I like, yeah, it puts me in the zone. Imagine living my life adamantium bones. And you best back off me, bub, or I'm popping them things. So they stay up on the Grizzy, stacking Bruce Wayne change. I mean Bruce Wayne money, stacking Bruce Wayne money. Bruce Wayne money, stacking Bruce Wayne money. And you know we custom fitted, looking Tony Stark fresh. Got a mean red head, double D's on a chest.
Face it, Tiger, yeah, you just hit the jackpot.
Riding real clean, keep $1 million in the stash box. Mashing with this hustle, cause nothing's off the juggernaut. Known to murder beats, you can call me Cletus Cassidy. Wait, how about Kazar, cause I live amongst the savagery. Thanks for tuning in, it's about that time. Johnny V, Scholar, and your dude, Tom Devine. How to show up on the internet, I'm just being honest, man. Hit him with the catchphrase, yeah, we keep it pumping.
Hey, comic book, look what's happening. It's your boy John on Demand, aka the comic book Hugh Half, pimping those issues like a boss, hanging out in silk pajamas. Not right now though, literally. We just got out of some serious board meeting action, meeting with the executive team and share stakeholders of the channel. So we had some wings, had some beer. I'm in a really good mood, so that's awesome. And hanging out here with Sergeant America, saving the world. Boom! Catchphrase. So as always, you guys, we're fighting the Empire right now. So this is part of the resistance. We're powered by car batteries and cell phone lighting. So we're actually here to talk about something so sinister and dark that we had to kind of bring that darkness. And with that, we're talking about villains and villainy. So first of all, how the heck have you been, good sir?
Super glad I got my reading done. I still though have a bunch of back issues from our wonderful back issue sale from Rainbow Comics and Collectibles.
Ooh, 42nd Minnesota. Shout out to Dave.
Yep.
And John. And
so,
John.
It was super wonderful. But yeah, I grabbed my weeklies already this week. I know you already got deep into your books and got done.
2 more to go.
Oh, 2 more to go. All right. I finished my books and was super happy with them. So, though there's 1 or 2 that I think are going to hit the chopping block, but then again, there'll always be 1 or 2 that will jump back on. So
that sounds kind of villainous. So,
yep.
Chopping block. Who's getting the guillotine from your pull list and why?
Doctor Strange.
Oh,
as much as I like
the main title or the Sorcerer Supreme, or is it the same thing?
No, main title. I love the I think Bachelati art was the artist.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying all that, but the story, it seemed like his best stuff he got out within the first 2 trades.
Yeah.
And now I'm just I feel it's pretty vanilla. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a tapioca, but maybe vanilla, sugar-free.
Yeah, pretty much so.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's going low. There's a lot of good ones, so that I'm happy with. Old Man Logan that you're reading now.
Well, okay, let's pause. I'm reading it for the cameo, so I'm being a character junkie.
Yeah.
I won't say that I'm reading the whole thing, so I'm not like caught up on it. But yeah, I mean, I checked it out. It was cool. Brood and Puck from Alpha Flight.
So The Brood.
Yeah.
Talking about villains. I mean, this is somebody we haven't seen in a long time.
I would say they're a villain, though, Mike. That's more of a Darwinism on a cosmic scale.
All right.
So just because we can't keep up sometimes as humanity doesn't mean that they're bad.
No. I remember the great, late 80s, early 90s comics where they would fight the Brood, they'd get infected, they'd fight the infections, swarms of a creature. I mean, it was, of course, I'm sure a play on Aliens. I remember that. I remember then they had X-Men Academy had the young Brood in it.
Yeah, yep.
And he was supposed to be then a
peaceful one.
A peaceful, hero of sorts. Yeah,
very intelligent. Yeah.
So that was interesting because he was, I guess, maybe a mutant of their race.
And there are such things of those. There's been another interpretation of that. Oh gosh, it was a recent title. Shoot, what was it? Not X-Men 92. I think it was.
All right.
I think it was X-Men 92.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mutant Brood.
All right. So there you are.
Who would have thought? But, honestly, yes, very villainous, wanting to basically not come in big cookies, but rather just kick everybody's ass. That's not a Brood. I'd say it's pretty villainous.
Yeah.
Very cosmic, so it was pretty cool. So, yeah, no, I agree. So you got some visuals. First of all, you guys, Sergeant America, I'm sorry. John on Demerica and Sergeant America are in the building here. You are prepared, and I am not. So
Well, yeah,
let's
but
talk
I mean,
about that.
We moved locations. You know, we've been jumping from location to location.
It's
shoot.
hard, yeah.
This is us. You know, working on the Last Jedi. So you know, it's just where we have to be for photo shoots and all that. But with Villains, the one I was especially happy, especially knowing that you had read it, was the infamous Iron Man.
Woo!
So. I mean,
Issue 4.
the wonderful Dr. Doom, who has taken the mantle of Iron Man.
Yeah.
The idea here is, I mean, he isn't quite a full hero.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to see him, like when he goes to save somebody, or he's destroying robots and he realizes, oh, I'm supposed to check on the victim and make sure they're okay. So he knows what to do, but he's not inherently a hero. He just thinks he's supposed to be the hero now.
Okay.
I liked his interaction with S.H.I.E.L.D. where he tells them, I'm the new hero. And they're like,
"Lol,
this
no."
isn't, they're like, that's not how this works. He goes,
Right.
no, I know. I'm just trying to cut
yeah.
corners, but this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I do like it. It plays into a little bit of the Dark Reign idea of the villain as a hero, but while Dark Reign, it was the sly look out the side of your eye, and that it was we're still the bad guys.
Yeah.
Doom does want to be a hero, but he's got inherent villainy in him. I mean, the way he takes care of things. I just find it very interesting to see how that is. What about your take on the Doomster?
Yeah, the Doomster. I'd have a beer with Doom in that suit. First of all, the face is normal looking, right?
Yeah.
So that's been one of the mystiques about him is, the mask, and as we saw in the horrible movie renditions, that, horribly disfigured is Dr. Doom for the face. Given if it's the nature of the actual explosion, or there's been several variants of that story throughout the years of what happened, so why the
you
mask
like
is so important.
One take over another?
What do you mean, for movies?
Well,
I hate them all.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I like the idea
Just kidding.
that they said that Doom's scar was very small.
Yeah.
But for him, it became a magnified flaw, so that later on, when he had this superheated mask, he put it on, basically burning the rest of his skin.
Yep.
In a self-mutilation way. I thought that was an interesting take.
I mean, that's what I would do if I got like a Zit or whatever. Is like, dude, F this S, and then I would just put the Doom mask on and fix it.
Watch your beard go up in flames.
Right, exactly.
Right.
It would grow back in like 5 minutes anyways.
All right.
Chia pet.
I always wondered about that.
Yeah, so add water and love, sunlight, vitamin Dizzle.
If we ever put a mask on, what would we do with the beards? I mean,
Where would this go? Yeah.
tuck that out the side.
Don't mind the brisk hair sticking out of the bottom right of my face.
Yeah.
Anyways, clearly Dr. Doom is not a lumberjack, or he's also not a Midwest survivor of the cold elements.
Yeah.
So I like the book though, to answer your question. I think the suit's cool. The cloak and suit are fun. Just the one thing I hated about the series was that it jumped the gun, much like all the other books did, about what happened in Civil War before Civil War happened. So that was so awesome.
Which is the true villain of the book,
The true villain of the book
to
is
spoil.
the delay. Yeah, totally agreed. Strongly agreed. So villainy is not being on time. Yes.
Another book I know that you are reading.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah, I gotta get the right one out. So we are looking at Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Yes.
I love this cover with the Jason Todd stealing Batman's tire effect. Since these are all three villains, but trying to stop villainy from within. I mean, Black Mask. You had mentioned, have you read too much Black Mask with Batman stuff?
Literature-wise, no. I saw, a little bit in the books, but truthfully, it's been like cartoons.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of animated features. Or what's cool about Batman? All those movies that are banging out on Hulu and Netflix and HBO. I wish Ken was here so I could ask him, but
the giggle from the back.
yeah.
No, I like the idea of, we have these villains. Once again, they're trying to be heroes with some villainous takes. Artemis, though, I mean, there's been different plays. She hasn't really been too bad of a villain, but she's kind of countered Wonder Woman.
Does she, though? I mean, have they ever really thrown down?
Some of the old like early Mike Deodato editions
Okay.
as art. I don't remember who was writing it at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, she was I guess she was really just the anti-hero. She was
Yeah.
the Punisher to Wonder Woman's Daredevil would be the best way of saying it.
Okay.
So, and it's fun. It's fun to see this silly take on them, a little lighthearted with some serious moments of Jason Todd. The formation of this team, I'm, of course, a Bizarro fan, so I was really into this for that reason.
Yeah.
I
No.
can't wait to see how this runs. So.
Halloween.
Yeah.
No. Which was phenomenal,
Yeah,
by the way. I just want to tell you that.
But you're enjoying it. The Black Mask, though, version, I mean, I don't really know too much about him either.
He actually has stones in this one, I'll say that. Like, he's clever and intuitive and always 2 steps ahead most of the time. So I kind of like that. It's really, because my previous impression of that character was what a pushover and kind of a silly sad sacks. And now he's kind of like owning it and rocking it a little bit. My personal recommendation for the book, more Bizarro, please.
Yes.
Because that's just such a fun character. So, a lot of potential there.
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, who is a villain? We have wonderful Thor, the mighty Thor.
Oh, that's that second place cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deodato.
Yeah. Diamond Dozen.
So in this one, the villain was the Imperial Guard. It was Gladiator himself. I mean, we've seen him so often thrown against the Avengers. Trying to think, maybe even the X-Men a couple times on some of their space adventures.
Yeah.
They're not used very often because they almost keep them in a separate realm, being that they're galactic.
Keeping it cosmic.
But I mean, what did you think about this one? This is once again
Tears to my eye.
All right.
Tears to my eye. So I just went on this rampage of love about Thanos, whatever. Issue 3, about how awesome that was. But yeah, this issue of Thor 15, I want to say, was banging, you guys. Like, it was just so cool. The artwork was sick. It was just so fun and awesome. It makes Siege look like an episode of MASH in terms of violence. Like, Siege was just, it was okay.
Siege, yeah.
Well,
that's where I started.
Well, you like the Secret Warriors as having a remote tie into Siege. You
Yeah.
don't, no, I'm just playing. You probably do like Siege, but I don't know. Like, for me, it's a fun, no holding back kind of fight. Gods slapping up against alien warriors from unknown races. I mean, it's so funny and it's so awesome. And the beauty of the Imperial Guard is you don't know how many members there are. You have a good idea of some of the core ones that have been with the team for a minute. 90s cartoon, previous comics, the 2-issue Imperial Guard run that Marvel had 2 issues where they were in New York City and that was it, which was a joke, but kind of awesome. So I would love more literature about them, and boy, are we getting it. That's 2 appearances in Marvel titles. That's kind of cool.
Which I almost wonder if there's not another
thing on the
event coming with them.
I
always like Gladiator with the idea that he is a soldier who does whatever his general directs. And what we see with this one is, he goes to fight Thor, whether right, whether wrong. He's not really doing any ideology. It's the idea that I've been told to do this and I'm going to do this. Which plays on the idea, is he a villain then? And I guess that's what I liked about that issue.
And the thing I'm excited about too is getting more learn on with the Shi'ar gods and goddesses. So the end of this issue ends with cool looking Shi'ar god, triangle head shape, whatever. Kind of cool. So with that, getting to learn about an alien race that I've been familiar with for over a decade or 2 is kind of exciting for me. So I am definitely excited to learn more about it and see some substance and additional content added to the lore of the whole thing.
Next book.
I totally just geeked out. I'm sorry.
That's what we like. Suicide Squad.
What?
The Most Wanted. This is El Diablo, and then of course Amanda Waller at the bottom.
Looking angry.
The idea on this one is, if we're using villains, who are the villains? Then the people that interact or are opposite of them, are they then the villains? Is El Diablo, Amanda Waller, who does horrible things, are they ever the hero, or are they always just a villain, and whoever stops them is just another idea? Because, I mean, in this issue, it's government people who are trying to stop El Diablo. And then with Amanda Waller, of course, it's all this kind of spy ideas. It's someone else in the government, once again, who's trying to stop her or oppose her. And I guess that's what I like about these Suicide Squad ones, is they're a little smarter, a little bit more nuanced with their ideas.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know, I think that Suicide Squad is interesting because, one, I'm not reading it, which is a huge what the heck, John. You, of all people, should be reading this book, but I'm not. Because if you saw my long boxes right now, Rebirth made me get another long box. I'm up to 11. So I have just under 4,000 comics. I am totally not ready for this twice a month action on that kind of a level like I used to read, because I used to get a ton of DC books.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that Suicide Squad as a whole, cool. Amanda Waller, though, is a complicated one. And she's one of those get her doners, not really caring about how to get it done. Is she on the side of angels? Maybe. I don't think that she has a lot of personal interest. However, I do think she has vendettas against things that have gone wrong. So I don't see her as someone that's like, well, I hate someone from many years ago, so I'm going to set up their assassination. I don't know necessarily about that. But I do know that she has a job to do, and she doesn't care whose toes she steps on to get it done. And by whose toes she steps on, I mean who gets shot in the head. So she doesn't care. She doesn't care about any of that. She's fearless and just leads by being completely ruthless and knowing what she needs to do to get the job done. So it's a good equation, and a complicated one at that. Likewise, a lot of the villains characters of the Suicide Squad are borderline. So one of the issues I haven't read yet from this week is that Killer Frost one-shot. So she's part of the Suicide Squad, I guess, in this event, and she's going to be graduating to the JSA.
All right.
And the premise of it that I read online is, hey, she's looking to join the JSA. Amanda Waller's this close to approving her, but she's not going to make it easy. She's going to throw all these hurdles in. So it's just like, oh, man. So I'll be interested to read it. I haven't read it yet. Cool character. Excited about that. But yeah.
All right.
That was a total tangent. I'm sorry.
No, and I can't wait to hear more about that one, because I do like that idea of all these individual books that are coming out. Killer Frost is just awesome too. So,
and the cover was bang.
Yes, yeah.
So
on a simpler note, Manifest Destiny.
Oh boy,
Lewis and Clark are making their way through their wonderful journey that we read about in middle school, grade school, and then eventually high school. This, of course, is a take on the entire West is full of monsters and demons.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's very obvious who the bad guys are here, where, you have, these horrible creatures that are trying to destroy the party. But in remembrance, and even in the book, they explain it, Lewis and Clark were not angels. They attacked, ravaged, and fought Native Americans throughout the United States. So once again, I mean, they're not true heroes either. So it was a very interesting take to read this, to enjoy it. Right now, they are, of course, in South Dakota. They're hunkering down for the winter, which we're going through right now. So it'll be very interesting to see once the snow falls, how the characters interact and take on that. So there you have it. I'm not reading that book, so I cannot weigh in. It was heavily recommended to me, but like I said, balling on a budget. Man. Yeah, no, and I understand. It's the book that started my budget. I picked it out mainly because I knew eventually they would hit South Dakota, and so I wanted to see how that all worked out. Lastly, I do have one more book.
He's prepared.
Yep. Oh.
What?
So, Batman War.
Yeah.
In this one, of course, Batman has some of the most well-known villains. I mean, when you think about the Two-Face, Johnny dressed up as him. Scarecrow, John dressed up as him. The Riddler, John dressed up as him. Penguin, maybe next year we'll see that. Joker. I mean, we know all these great villains. But in Batman War, Alex Ross art, Paul Dini writing, the book is actually about the evil of Gotham.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because it's Batman fighting the society. I mean, it's about how poverty causes war. It's about how people put in tough situations where They lose on family members. They have no jobs. Their homes are being taken from them. What creates and makes a criminal makes a villain. So it was very interesting to read this book, to see this take on it, to not have any super villains, but still have Batman in it.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So let's bring it home.
All right.
What, in your opinion, makes a villain, and has that concept changed over the years?
All right. It has just been great to read, some of those Goldie oldies, to see them dressed up like clowns, to be, overly silly, to then have it go so much darker, where even your heroes are breaking the rules. I think the comic book community in general has just developed better characters, deeper characters. I do miss some of those outfits, but otherwise, that's the kind of things I like.
Yeah, definitely. For me, it feels like part of me wants to write a psych paper for Psych 101 or something. It's interesting to watch the evolution of characters, to see what we're capable of in animated features and short films, and animated short films that are really, really dark and have blood and gore and sex and rape and all that stuff in there. So, is it evolving with the times? Sure. Because the number one goal of the writer and the artist is to reach readers and have readers be able to connect to that, or say, yeah, I saw something like this on Law and Order, or whatever the case is, or at least capture interest. So would 50s tights and a mask capture an audience today and completely wow them? Probably not. Have we been desensitized as consumers? You bet your ass we have. There's been a lot of just even advertisements or trailers for movies. We got a lot of folks, in our group are parents now, and taking their kids to a Star Wars movie, and there's scary trailers for whatever the case is. I talked to my brother and warned him about trailers that were in there, and he was like, good call, thank you for telling me that. Because it's come to a point where, the content in general in media has gotten way more adult, and I personally see that as why villains have morphed into what we see today, and it just kind of drives itself, unfortunately. The more exposure there is, people hunger for that exposure. People that actually do bad things in the world are probably either doing it for publicity, so that way it self-spreads, you get imitation models, that kind of stuff. I don't know. I might be going on a super dark avenue, but I do think that it does play a relevance into what writers tap into to make a creator that is engaging to the reader and or trigger something in them. Even if it's a bad reaction for me, man, I got so emotional during this issue, that means that it's good writing. Is the bottom line. It's quality. So I don't know, that's what I look for. It's a very thought-provoking discussion, so I could go on for days about that. Right. But did we conquer your idea? This is your show idea.
Yeah, that's what I kind of wanted to put out there is, what I'm seeing, especially in our comic books now, what we've known in the past. We are very interested to hear what everybody has to say about what they think about their villains.
In the comments below, hit us up.
Tell us your favorites. Tell us what's working, what's not working. And tell us the things where we should be focusing on too. Yeah, totally. Any show ideas, you guys, drop a comment, hit us up. @Sergeant America on Twitter, @John on Demand on Twitter, @A Comic Book Look on Twitter. If you want to send us an email, hit us up, comicbooklook@gmail.com. Facebook, hang out with us. We're a fun group. We love talking comics in the industry. So search for us, A Comic Book Look. We'll get you added so you can hang out with us. As always, we're just, looking forward to some awesome correspondence with people, hearing what you guys think and what your views are. It's all about talking about the media. So we love it. We love the industry, and thank you guys for tuning in. Close it down. Sure. I'm Sergeant America. We got @John on Demand. We have disembodied voice in the back. So, all I have to say is mine, and then for Johnny's, catchphrase. Keep it comics, boom!